Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast. And guys, we just here in this 2021.
That's right.
2021, a new, I guess, a new change, a new whatever you want to call it. So, and the reason why I hold back and saying new year, because some areas, some calendars are different. You know what I mean? It's not the new year everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
People's calendars are actually different. But, you know, I guess to this calendar, the Western calendar is a new year, 2021. But we like to thank you for coming on to the Roundtable Podcast. You can definitely tune in every Sunday at 4:45 to watch us live. We come on. We've been doing this for almost 2 years, coming on at 4:45 a year or whatever. Yeah, I'm jumping the gun.
I was about to say 2 years. Where?
I'm jumping the gun. I'm jumping the gun. But for 2 years, I mean, I said it again for a year.
Well, lovely T knew she knew so.
Yeah.
Before she got there.
Yeah.
Still, like Lady B said,
yeah, we've been doing it for a minute. But guys, listen, we like you to like and share this podcast, this pod today. We would love for you to like and share it. We would love for you to show our YouTube page some love. You can go to our YouTube page. You can even watch us on our website. It actually is going on live as we speak now. At least I think it is. It's going on live now as we're talking now. You can go, and guys, don't be shy to go to that web page.
Most definitely.
It's gonna come a time where whatever you talking about, this good information, chances are you might not be a page anymore. And it's getting down to, I'm hearing different YouTubers that's talking about how their pages is being silences, whatever you want to call it. And I would like for you to know that you can definitely tune in to our website where you can watch it live, because we come on every Sunday at 4:45. So just to keep you up on that, you can also go to our IG page. And those pages will be below the screen or on the screen. And we'll flag that so you can see that information, guys. But definitely tune in on this winter day.
Yes,
this winter day. So we like to thank. We have a special guest on today. Which Lady B is definitely going to introduce him. But before then, how is your guys' day?
How are you guys
today?
I was trying to get my share going so I can get it going on my Facebook page. Real quick, Tone, can they comment off the web page, or is it just the Facebook that they can comment?
Facebook and YouTube.
Only Facebook and YouTube they can comment. They can
Facebook and YouTube.
That they can actually leave comments. And YouTube, the website. I guess we can look back at the YouTube page and see, because the producer just told me, I didn't know myself. So we'll figure that out and see what can we do to make that happen.
Definitely.
But definitely, they can definitely do that and share this page. We normally get about 300 to 400 hits after this is posted up.
Higher lately.
It's been higher actually lately. So after we just go on, it continues. People continue to click on it. But anyway, we got an interesting topic to talk about. A very interesting topic to talk about. And Lady B is going to tell us what that is.
So in this episode, we will be discussing the penal system and the recent execution of Brandon Bernard, who was executed for committing a crime he performed at 18 years of age. More Black men are in prison today than enslaved in 1850. We will talk about the private prison companies and how they have been a source of debate since they were established in the 1980s. We're going to talk activists argue that it's wrong to profit from incarceration, while prominent claims that privatization, I can't even get the words, saves money and it provides higher quality care. So we're going to kind of dive into that. We're going to just kind of go around and just get into this, but I do want to show you guys before we get started. I do want to introduce our guests. So we have with us today Robert Boyd Jr. He's a co-founder and a CEO. Him and his wife. Let's see here. Rob and his wife started the Streets Don't Love You Back organization in 2009 and became a 501c3 in February of 2015. They are committed to helping youth reach their highest potential through a variety of life-transforming programs. Their organization is striving to educate the youth against gangs, drugs, violence, and abuse. Their focus is youth empowerment, education, and teaching the life skills needed to make changes in this life.
We lost him for a minute there. I think he had to tune back in.
Okay,
we lost him. But while we waiting on him to pop back in, guys, this is a very interesting conversation, and it's been going on for years and years and years and years. And there's a lot of bitter people out there. They're very bitter. I know some of them, and I'm saying bitter in a bad way. I think because how they've been treated. It's been, I've recently been watching this YouTube special, and it's about these 4 guys. One of them is a woman, and all of these individuals went to prison. And I mean, we talking about, I mean, these guys went to prison for like 18 years. One went to prison for like 25 years and was released from prison. The other one went to prison for like 18 years. And I think the lady, she went to prison for like 7 years or 6 years. And each one of their stories are different, obviously. But the one that shed lights on me is the gentleman who went to prison for 25 years. And he went there because he was under the 3 strikes you outlaw, and his crime was it was a petty crime, the last third, crime that was committed. He was I think he was obviously a drug head. He stole like $50 worth of merchandise. And out of that $50 worth of merchandise, he did 25 years in prison because he was under the 3 strikes you outlaw, and I mean, and then the other guy, I think his was like armed robbery, and they didn't run him consecutively where he consecutive meaning that they run them together and give them one sentence for the whole thing. They were separate. They gave this guy separate sentencing where he had to complete one and then do the other one, where he ended up doing 18 years in prison for his crime. So we do understand that the penal system, I don't know if it's really what you consider to be fair. Obviously, and we have our guest that's going to talk to us about it, but we're going to show a video just so you guys can see this video, and then we'll get to our guest.
Brandon Bernard, who was executed.
All right, let's check this out. If it's ready. Okay, here we go.
Last night, 40-year-old Brandon Bernard was executed by lethal injection at a federal prison in Indiana. 11th hour attempts for court intervention, including those from criminal justice advocates and celebrities like Kim Kardashian West, were unsuccessful. Bernard was 18 when he took part in a 1999 double murder in Texas. He and 4 other teenagers kidnapped, robbed, and murdered Todd and Stacey Bagley on their way from a Sunday church. The case drew national attention in recent weeks and sparked a debate about executing offenders who were young when they committed their crimes. Bernard was the youngest offender based on his age at the time. He was put to death by the federal government in nearly 7 decades. His last words sought forgiveness. He said, "I'm sorry. I wish I could take it all back, but I can't. That's the only words that completely capture how I feel now and how I felt that day." Members of the victim's family said they accepted that apology.
The apology and the remorse that was shown to the family and the fact that they regretted their acts at that time helped very much to heal my heart. And I can truly say I forgive them.
Protesters gathered outside the prison, hoping the Supreme Court would grant a stay of execution, but the court denied it by a vote of 6-3. President Trump ignored pleas from celebrities and politicians to halt the execution. Kardashian, who has championed criminal justice causes, tweeted overnight, "He was such a reformed person, so hopeful and positive until the end." Bernard had asked President Trump for clemency, and criminal defense.
All right. So as you guys can see, like he was 18 years old. So I mean, I guess they were just people were trying to understand, like, why, he should have had a chance. I don't know. What do you guys kind of think?
Well, I mean, even to our guests, I want to, can you explain what it is that you do, your nonprofit, and so we can get a more understanding. We know what you do over, but just a detailed description.
Well, me and my wife, Lucinda, we started the Streets Will Love You Back organization in 2009. We educate against gangs, drugs, violence, and abuse. And we also work on prison reform around the country.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're still breaking up pretty bad, boy. But we'll get through this. We're gonna definitely get through this. Oh, okay. So and in that, how many kids do you got? Like, what are the ages of the individuals that actually you see that actually go to prison or wherever it is that they go? Well, we lost them again. So we're gonna have to just keep talking.
Yeah,
but even though it's a thing where there's okay. So he's back. He's back. Yeah, but you know what? If you have a way to even I don't know if your internet is plugged in. I don't know if you're using sometime Wi-Fi. When you do that, it probably go out a lot because of the signal. But if you have a way to plug in,
really bad.
Yeah. But we're just gonna try to get through this anyway, guys. So if you can hear us in that area, talk to us about what state are you in?
He's in I think he's in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Really bad. I can't really understand anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's the signal. I think it's his signal.
Okay.
He probably need to get to an internet connection.
Yeah, most definitely.
To actually connect.
His signal,
can you reach out to him, Jasmine, and let him know that
Lovely Tees used to be back in the day.
Yeah,
but she good now.
Yeah, but let's go into this. I don't know this guy's situation, and when we look at, because let me ask you, the guy who we just showed who was executed, okay, he killed someone. What happened in that area?
Yeah.
Well, he was with somebody, and the people he were with, somebody else shot the two people in the head. I think it was the pastor and somebody else in the trunk. Then he was with him. He burnt up the bodies in the car.
Oh.
So somebody shot the two people in the head. Then he burnt up the bodies.
I don't know if he's the best. I mean, because then okay. I'm talking in fragments, so let me say a sentence.
Thank you.
I don't know if he is the best example, so to speak, because the question really is more, I think, overarching in terms of do we need a death penalty or not? Because I think at 18, it is really at that line of, should this person be charged? Well, they're going to be charged as an adult, but they're just 18. They just crossed the line of not being charged as a juvenile, depending on the crime. So do we really need the death penalty? Because whatever his sentence, he was found guilty. I didn't hear in the story where he said, "You've wrongfully charged me." So that was his sentence. In that particular state, they have the death penalty. So do you know what I mean? Like, do we need the death penalty?
Yeah. Yeah, and
Period.
I agree with that. I totally agree with. Do we need? Is that the argument where the death penalty is it going to be what's the word I'm looking for? More proportionate, I don't know, towards the crime. I don't know if that's the actual right word to use,
Right.
but you understand what I'm saying. Does it match the crime? If burning bodies that were already and it's already it sounds bad, guys. I know it sounds bad,
Yeah, it
but
does.
burning bodies that would someone already took their lives, someone have already taken their lives, do they deserve to die? Do they deserve to die in that instance, in that situation? Does they qualify for quote unquote the death penalty, or can they be reformed? You know what I mean? Can that person be reformed? Because see, a lot of times we don't know if that was done out of fear, that they burnt the bodies because now here they feel like they in on the crime. They didn't necessarily kill a person, but they don't want it to come back to them. And now is out of panic and just right away making bad decisions. And they just say, hey, so we won't get caught. Let's burn the body. You know what I mean? Was it that? Did they deserve to die? And are there people out there who do deserve to die? You know what I mean? Are there people out there that actually do deserve to die in terms of the death penalty and in terms of the crime that was committed? Is it?
I think for us, though, well, when I say us, I mean, Black people. I think that that the justice system overall is disproportionate, puts Blacks at disproportionately at a disadvantage. And so because of that, I don't think any Black person should be up for the death penalty. I mean, you could do life in jail without parole. But I mean, we haven't even really dove into the fact that, these are private institutions that have to be in business. And so where are they getting the bodies? Disproportionately, they're bodies of color. So, I don't really think any person of color is in a position to say that we should have the death penalty, because the people who decide who goes and who gets the death penalty and for what reason are full of bias.
Well, I think let me, just from a spiritual perspective, I want to throw this in here. In terms of God giving life to whites, Blacks, I think every life, just from a God perspective, is valuable. So my perspective is, I don't believe in the death penalty, period, because I don't want, because it's a known fact that people, of course, Blacks more so than whites, but people have been put to death and they found out they were innocent. So the very chance that someone, because the justice system is so flawed, that people can get the death penalty and be put to death, I don't think getting all the people who are truly guilty is enough to lose one life who was innocent. I don't think that's a good look. So I think so death penalty for me, that's a no-go, because it's just the chance of, because humans are flawed, somebody is going to get put to death who's innocent, and I'm not okay with that. I don't care what color you are.
They said that these private companies were born out of necessity during the tough on crime and war on drug era. It says the country was incarcerating more people than ever, and the U.S. government couldn't keep up.
Yeah, I see. We got our guest back.
I live in Arizona now.
Oh, Arizona.
Okay, Arizona. Okay, good, Arizona. So now, in terms of the crime there, in terms of what made you pursue this route in your career in terms of helping the youth stay out of Is it that you can help them stay out of prison? You help reform them once they come out of prison? Tell us a little bit more about the program.
Well, I'll take it all the way back. I'm born and raised in Detroit from the Black Bottoms, on the east side of Detroit. I left there when I was like 24 years old in '89. I moved to Cincinnati. I stayed there for 20 years. Then I came here to Arizona after I married my wife. But I started this with my wife because I'm an ex-gang member, ex-gang leader, and ex-drug dealer. So I wanted to give something back to help society when I was one of the ones that helped tear up society, especially in Detroit. And I wanted to give back. So we started helping the youth and helping incarcerated when they come home, not to go back to prison, and the young ones not to go to prison. So that's how I got involved with doing all this kind of work.
Okay, so now let me ask you this: like, what are some of the things, the tactics or training? What do you guys do? Is it just more of a mentorship? Will you just mentor the youth? What is it that you guys do?
We mentor, and also we got a program that my wife created, the Streets and Love You Back Life Skill Intervention Program. So we send the intervention program inside the prisons, and the inmates teach it to the other inmates. And we have a lot of resources to help them find jobs when they come home, housing, and different things like that. So the bottom line is, if we can help one, we're doing good. If we can help a lot, we're doing even better. So the numbers that we have helped and we still help, I'm very proud of that, and my wife is too. We can't help everybody, but we can show help.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you go inside the juvenile prison system?
I teach the program here in Maricopa in the courtroom, and we send it inside the jails and the prison system, and the inmates teach it in there. But I teach it at the courthouse here in Arizona.
Oh wow, that's good.
Yeah.
So now let me ask you this: how is the crime rate? What is the difference between Detroit, Ohio, and where you are presently in terms of the crime rate? Did you see more Latino, African Americans? I know me and my wife was just down there, probably like when were we down there? Probably a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
And no, that's Arizona.
Yeah. We was in Vegas.
We was in Vegas. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know. I always get them two, maybe because it's hot both places.
And they're so close to each other.
Yeah, they so close in they
Yeah.
deserts. They pretty much.
Yeah.
So okay, but yeah, okay, I don't know. I'm thinking that. Okay, so tell me, what is the difference between out of those three? Do you find yourself more busy in Arizona than you would in Detroit and Ohio, or is just the same all over with our people?
Basically, it's the same. Crime is crime, no matter what state you live in. But Arizona is a little bit different because it's a non-tolerant state, So if you get caught down here, say with several pounds of marijuana or whatever, compared to Ohio and Detroit, they're going to give you a lot of time, But not now due to the laws being changed with marijuana. But everybody know, certain states got certain laws, and certain states, like you was talking, got the death penalty, and some states don't. So it's about the people who gets in trouble, and that's all colors that get in trouble. So it's really not about the Latinos, the brothers, or the whites, or the whatever. Everybody's in trouble, and me and my wife help all the ones who truly want to be helped. So the crime is crime in all three states.
So
can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
Mr. Boyd, so what factors, from your experience, do play a part in being more susceptible to the criminal element as a youth?
He froze up.
We can't hear him right now.
Mm.
I think he froze. But I guess my thing was, what I was saying is that, African Americans and Latinos have always suffered more than any group of people. because they're the ones that are more in terms of acceptable to poverty in certain communities, and that's why I wanted to understand how is it there due to that it would be in Detroit or Ohio, or is it the same?
Right. Well, I have some statistics too.
And Lady B got, what are your statistics?
So it says of all African American men that were born in 1965 or later with less than a high school diploma, 60% have a prison record. 28 months median time served. So we find that the system of mass incarceration costs the government and families justice involved at least $182 billion every year.
And see, that's why I guess I was more concerned about those three areas. I mean, okay, so we understand what science is, right? It is, science is knowing, is knowledge, is understanding. You have to understand in order to be able to come up with a solution or to really get it. And then you have to research that knowledge. You have to follow it. You have to stay in on it because that's what real true science is. And there's different science, different ways where now you could be a researcher where you can understand that I need knowledge about what's going on in this area so that I can actually help it in some type of way. So that's why I use the terminology. And that's why I said, is it the same everywhere else? And my point of view that it would be the same everywhere else, more so than our white counterparts. You know what I mean? They're not as subjected unless, now here's the thing, unless they're in poverty areas. Now we know white people do commit crimes. We get that. And it's more of them than it is African Americans, at least in United States of America. So we do understand it is more. So then it should be more arrests with them. I get it. You get what I mean? But I'm talking about targeted. You know what I mean? When you're targeted because you are prone to be what they consider to be helpless. Let's go after the black people because we feeding them poverty. We're making their areas a lot more desolate. Where they're more prone to committing crimes. We're removing the fathers out of the home through the welfare system. I still really believe that. You have more mothers that are. Well, you have a lot of mothers who actually cut the man out of the house just so they can get a check. I mean, we can go down that road. You know what I mean? I know many and that's a whole road that I won't say I blame black women, but it is a problem in that area where some women are doing it. They're playing that game where they don't want the father in the house so they can get that check.
Tone, that's a different topic, Tone.
Yeah,
I can't let that sit like that, Tone.
But I'm here to cause trouble.
But that woman got to be able to feed that child, and that man might not have the money, so she got to do what she got to do. So that's a whole nother topic there.
Well, I'm here to start trouble. I'm here to start trouble. So my thing is this. All I'm saying is that it does play a factor. See, all of this is like a gumbo. All of this is like a gumbo where you have to. It's not just them going to prison, and I don't just blame the woman. I'm not saying, but do the welfare system play a part? It most certainly do.
The welfare system,
welfare, it does. It really does. And I'm talking about we need more black men in our homes to help educate our youth or their children.
Yeah.
And you being our guest, you saying that you was a gang member. What led you to being a gang member?
Well, like I said, at 9 years old, my stepfather got murdered in front of me and my mother. And from that point on, I was an angry kid, And then I went to school. I got robbed by a gang member. And I was held back in the winter time. So they took back to get my coat, and the rest was history. I got involved with that life for many years, until I decided to change my life around. And when I decided to change my life around, then I started helping other homies and other homegirls get their life together as well. So I dedicated my life to that, and that's what I do.
So let me ask you the question. So what would have happened when you seen that happen And there was a support system, because even in that day, you know, we had the YMCA. You guys know about that. What is that program? Is that
Boys
the
and Girls Club.
Yeah, the Boys and Girls Club. Obviously, I don't believe they were effective.
I
Me
don't think
personally,
so.
like if
Cadillac. I used to go to that one before I got in trouble. I used to go to that one when I was like 4 and 5 years old. But
breaking up.
Breaking up bad. We can't hear you.
And I guess that's what I'm saying. So, guys, listen, let's start some trouble on this. Let's get it. So we gotta loosen it up a little bit. So I guess my thing is to this, right? You know, in so many areas that I can attack.
So, but we don't think this a money part of the money thing, the penal system. It's not a part of money thing too.
Well, I mean, I believe
it's all together, like you said, gumbo.
Well, I think it is, but I guess I want to use this situation, and I don't know if the brother know about it, but recently in Southfield, Michigan, right, there was a gun shooting. It was a young man. I know everybody heard about it. He was 48 years of age. This man was gunned down in his driveway.
Sure was.
I think it was like 4 other people. 4 other people. One guy, he jumped out. I mean, and then here's the thing, you know, they knew what they were doing. It wasn't a random situation. You know, they plotted.
The young lady at Wayne State that they caught the guy on camera just shooting.
Right, just shooting. So I guess my thing is, I'm going back to the death penalty. So my thing is that do he deserve to die? Who ran up on this house, ran to this house, and he gunned down the guy, but luckily the guy had he carried his own piece, and he shot back at him, not killing. I don't know if the guy died. I know he in critical care, but the victim obviously died. Do that guy deserve the death penalty if it was here in Michigan? Would he deserve the death penalty? And listen, come to find out, I think that I don't want to jump up to what I think, so I don't want to go there. But anyway, he was gunned down in his driveway. His wife and kid was in the house. And these guys came up on him, gunned him down, and the other 2 got away. Now, this guy is dead. Should it be life for life? Should he pay the penalty and say, well, you deserve to die just like you killed this young man or this gentleman? In that case, should it be the death penalty?
Well, just real quick for me, that's what I like. Like right now, a lot of people would say, yes, he deserves to die. But 20 years from now, like in the case that we opened up the show with, you know, time does things. And so 20 years from now, if he's good behavior, if he's done everything, he's been a model prison inmate, you know, people's hearts may feel a lot differently because the crime is now 20 years past. So I just think that, again, you know, you have to decide, like RW3 was saying, you know, like morally, value wise, do we believe in the death penalty? Because again, how we feel today is not going to be the same 20 years from now.
Okay, but let's add on to that, and then we'll let our guest speak. Let's add on to that. They talked about this young man history. He was 25 years of age. This guy had been in trouble numerous of times, but he's always beat the cases. You know, I think one had to do with him carjacking, and I forget what the other one was. So he had a history of violence, of violent crimes. So now he had opportunities. He had more than one opportunity to reform, to say, you know what, I've been out here, I've been caught up in these cases, you know, now here's the bigger one. You know, I don't know if he shot at anybody. Here's the bigger case now, and this person has died from this one this time. Should he qualify for the death penalty? He haven't proven himself to be reformed out of the 2 times that he's been caught. He beat the cases.
Well, and this is the thing, I think if they're going to use our tax dollars for the purpose of incarceration, a lot of those dollars, when people enter into the penal system, there need to be programs to contribute to the habilitation or rehabilitation, whatever term you want to use. So my argument against that tone would be, when he got locked up, was he in programs to reform? I mean, was he presented?
He beat the
He
case.
He never made it because he beat the case 2 times.
I'm sure he was locked up for some periods of time. And then secondly, when he was in front of the judge, like for example, it's a program I do contract work with. When the people go in front of the judge, they forced him to come to us for 12 weeks. So we don't know what programs that he's required to go to shift from what it is I'm thinking that makes sense to a shift to better decision making and creating opportunities. So I won't go there. So when we're talking about reforming, when you say opportunity, Tone, you're saying that there was opportunities and he didn't walk in those programs that were offered for him to reform.
So let me get it straight so we'll get exactly what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm saying is normally, and maybe is it Bernard?
No, Rob.
Maybe Rob can help us in this area, because my understanding is you don't go to a program if you beat the case. You beat the case, you normally either out on parole, out on bail, or you're in the jail, you in the county jail. You're not even in a prison system where you can get the rehabilitation. So you haven't even made it that far as my understanding. I guess if we can get our guests on, we can know what's really going on. But that's
even if you go with that premise, though, Tom. Even if you go with that premise, then did he really have a chance for rehabilitation? Like you were saying, he went in, or you assumed that there was some type of time, and that he didn't change his mindset in those brief periods. But you're also saying at the same time that if he did not get convicted of that crime, which I think is the case, that he did not go to prison. Therefore, he did not get exposed with any significant amount of time to any type of programming to deconstruct his thinking and build up a different way of thinking. He didn't get that opportunity yet. Now, maybe he will this time.
Well,
and then will he be ready to,
they said he was in critical care, so he might not even make it. So my thing is this. This is what I'm trying to show. This is what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is that even why should I, here's the thing. Reform starts with you. There's many people who in the penal system who don't be reformed. They go there.
It wasn't built for reform. It wasn't built for reform. It came out of slavery.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. And that's true. But no, there are programs that are there that you have to participate, like RW3 said. But my thing is this. What I'm saying is reform doesn't start because you throw something in my face and say, hey, learn this and you will be all right. You have to want to change first. That's reform. Reform means that you have to want to change, and then now here's the process. Well, if you not made the change, because when you're made to change, pretty much you don't really change. Now, a lot of times you don't really change. But when you say, I want to change within me, then here's the process. Now, and a lot of guys just do the reform so they can get out of prison. You see what I mean? They'll do it just so they can go through.
Because we don't know. No, you know what I'm saying? Because we can't predict. We can't predict who's going to be genuine and authentically ready to reform and actually reform and who's not. I guess for me, the question still becomes the death penalty question altogether. Like, we as a society have to decide that either we're going to restructure prisons so that they actually are opportunities for transformation and change, and second opportunity once they're released back out in the community, or we're going to believe like, an eye for an eye. You kill somebody, we as a society, we need to decide, is there a crime so heinous that it warrants the death penalty? And if we say yes, which certain states have, then it doesn't matter if the person did it at 18, 25, 65. If you did the crime, then this is the punishment for that crime. And then simply then there's no room for sympathy 20 years later when this person has decided, oh, I want to reform, because we said, nope, you did this crime, and then here is your punishment, regardless of what happens in between that dash.
But you didn't give that person who you took their lives 20 years. You took their life instantly. You didn't give them when you shot that gun under whatever desperate situation you were on, that was your life in that moment. That was your bad decision. And now there's a scene of events that happens after that decision that you made. I'm not talking about everybody, but when I'm saying it, when I don't
think people need have some kind of mercy.
Well, let me draw to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that young man that's 25 years old, he beat 2 cases. He beat 2 cases. Right then and there, after the second time, you should have said to yourself, you know what? I need to change. Because, see, this is not working for me. This is the life. Some
Obviously.
people, do you know there's prosecutors out there? You have somebody that's called career criminals. They're career criminals. They're actually, this is their profession. They're career criminals. So my thing is this, when it's something heinous, like something like that, say like somebody kill your child, God forbid, take your child life, and then when you look at this person's record, you don't see that this person even wanted to reform, because all you see is a history of bad situations, and maybe they even went in the penal system at one time and got some type of help, but it didn't change who they were as a person. So now they come out to society even more angrier. They say a lot of people that go in prison come out even more smart in terms of not how to get back in trouble because of the people that they talk with. So I guess what I'm saying, I'm playing devil's advocate into the area to say that when you're looking at when you're the victim on the other side to someone losing someone else's life, losing your loved one's life, and this person here was in and out of the system, never got a chance to be reformed within their own self. Forget what they're going to teach you. I'm saying this person seemed to be that I didn't want to change. I don't want to change. In fact, I want to take what you have too. I'm saying, what do you do with these kind of people? Do you just keep them in prison, lock them up? You don't get rid of them. You don't kill them. They killing people out here.
Oh, Tom, can I ask you a question? What do you think? Do you think we should kill them? Your personal opinion on the death penalty. Yours.
Well, okay, so here it goes. For me, there's a scripture to say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Live by the sword, you die by the sword. It's in your decision making. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. When you go to war, when America, different countries, they see something in this situation, they need to go to war. Guess what they're doing? They're not going over there to tell people, hey, listen, I want y'all to calm down. They're going over there killing people. They're shooting people in the head. In fact, we enlist in the army to go kill people. That's what you're doing. You're enlisting, and these people haven't did anything. They haven't committed any crimes. They're just part of the service, but now is a war between you and me, and I'm killing you and you killing me. So to some degree, we've already doing that.
Actually, we enlist to defend, not to go kill.
Well, that's what you're doing. That's how you defend. You kill somebody. You can brainwash it how you want, but I'm just saying.
Can we ask our guest since he's back? Can we ask Rob a question since he's back?
Well, yeah, okay, but let me finish my statement. All I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that my thing is this. I guess it depends on the crime. Now, do black people get tied up in it? That's the messy part.
Right.
But here's the thing. Will I be for the death penalty? Yeah, I'll be for it. I'll be for the death penalty in certain situations. But now, in a real world, does it happen the right way? No. In the real world, it wouldn't happen. In the real world, it has to be set up and it has to be put in place, because you have natural born killers out there who don't mind taking your life. You see what I mean? So some people can't be. Now, here's the decision. Here's the question that I would have asked myself. Do I believe everybody can be reformed? See, that's the question that I would ask. And I don't think so. I don't think everybody can be reformed. I don't think so.
What about from our guest?
Well, we got to be able to get him.
Right.
He coming in and out.
Can you hear us, guest? Oh.
And see, that's my thing. See, here's my thing. I guess I don't know. It's just a bad connection. God knows. I wish we could. Maybe we could bring him in next week. When he get a better connection,
Signal,
a better signal. Because I would love to hear his background alone. Can you come on just through your phone and talk? That's his phone. Okay. Okay. It's probably that area that he's in, the connection. The signals are just probably bad in that area because, Arizona is all desert. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of desert out there. So I guess my thing is this, we're talking only through our own opinions. And that's what this is about. This is about our own opinions. But here's the thing. Don't let me go. I know I don't want to go there, but don't let me get on Kamala Harris, who this guy was facing death. And he had DNA samples and she didn't even want to approve it. So I don't know if this guy died or not. You see, she was for it, obviously. You know what I mean? They were looking through her to help save this guy's life. And from what I'm heard, she refused to look at this black man who had DNA proof. She still didn't ride with it. That's Kamala Harris. You see what I mean? So my thing is that, I don't know. I mean, it's just a thing where it's one of those things where, I think that reform is a strong word. And I think that you have to find it within yourself before you can actually become reformed. Because if you're getting back out here, putting that, getting your gun ready to go take another person's life selfishly because you want what they have. I mean,
but see, time is the great. Time is the great equalizer. Okay.
Yes, it
is.
Yes, it can be. It can be. And I'm not saying there are people that, like you said, will never become reformed.
Right.
But I think once you strip a man, and I mean that in every gender, down to the bare bones over time, there is a higher possibility for them to look at things differently. Will they know? I don't know. That's a probability. That's a, what I'm saying? I don't know. We don't know. I don't know. But I think in time, you may have a higher likelihood of someone seeing things a little differently.
You know what? Tom made a good point, and this is where I agree in terms of an individual, I guess, having the wherewithal and the want. For example, I'm just going to use me. I was 19, 20 in this relationship, leaving out the door, getting into it with this particular person, and she stopped me from leaving. So I moved her out the door. She fell, called the police. I had a domestic assault, right? Now think about it. Now, years later, the time I had to determine, you know what? Under no circumstances does it make sense to put your hand on a woman and do that. So me coming to the realization during that time that doesn't make sense is where the rehabilitation or reforming comes, like Tone said. Because there are people I knew at that time 20 years ago, we're talking about 20 years later, in time, they still think the same way. They still think it's cool to slap women. So time don't mean nothing.
No, but I'm saying, the variable that's different is that when you are stripped down of everything, so the people that that are still thinking the same way that they thought probably didn't encounter any serious consequences for their actions, and that's why they continue to do it. But I'm saying once you are stripped of everything, you know, again, if we don't believe that reform can happen in the jail systems, you know, then why are we sending people to jail? We should just
Right.
go ahead and
So,
publicly
I was
execute.
sitting there, I know people, I was sitting there working with the state, and I'm sitting there in a circle with all these people who were in prison, everything stripped, and they sitting here in group talking about going back in the street and doing the same stuff.
Mhm.
After they've been stripped of all of, you know, they say, well, I got to feed my family. And they leave in group going back in the street after being in prison.
Mhm.
And-
I believe reform is, I don't believe that the jail systems have been built, especially these privatization of the jails. I don't believe that their goal is rehabilitation.
No, I don't think so.
Reality is that the large majority of those that go in prison actually do come out, and they come back to the hood, and their thinking has not been reformed. It has not been changed. So to me, that's where the issue is like, we have to create a prison system that is designed. Now, everybody that goes through is not going to come out as a success story, but the design itself, the conditions itself, have to lead to some opportunity for reform.
Right.
Yeah, and they got to be able to have, like you said, have more opportunities for when they come out. I know they be trying to find jobs, and a lot of them can't get jobs. I mean, it's still almost like they're still, you know, locked in prison, almost to say, but just out. So, you know.
But see, even saying that, to me, that's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question is in the area of what, when you were saying about the prison system, you know, well, are they the ones who should be reforming? Or should it be something else to help reform them, not the penal system? Because they only there for the dollar, get you out of this situation, to stop you from being a threat to society. You know, here's the thing: everybody sitting here have thoughts that they probably should have never had. You know what I mean? At one point in their lives, that doesn't make you a threat. From what I was told, a threat means is when you can actually act it out. See, so you have people who can actually act out that thought that's in their head that nobody should be knowing about. In fact, you should have been praying and asking y'all to deliver you from that thought. Right. But there's people who actually act out their thoughts, which make them a threat to society. So here's the thing. You have people who have committed heinous acts of chopping up bodies, putting babies in microwaves. You see what I mean? I know it's something psychologically going on, you know, at that point, there's something psychologically going on, but the fact that you can act out these heinous crimes, what do you mean reform? Yeah, I mean, I believe Yeshua can, that's the true reform to me, who can reform you, but I'm saying is that, do you keep them locked up? I'm gonna let you talk. Do you keep them locked up? But let me say this real quick, y'all can talk. Do you keep them locked up and taxpayers continue to pay for that?
No.
Or do you, if the issue resides in taking out the garbage, I don't want to say taking out the garbage, but my thing is that I'm saying, I'm just being funny. I'm not being real about it. I'm just saying, you know, I guess it's just some issues you can look at. You know, it's coming out of somebody's pocket.
Yeah, most definitely. I think those people that do those type of heinous crimes, I think they should stay in and they have to pay. I really think so. For those who are put away for like little minor things that you can't be reformed, this is your first time doing something, you know, a first time offender or whatever, I think they can be reformed. But these people who just, you have to really be sitting, like you said, you got to think about it and then you go act out and do it. So that means like you deliberately had that in your heart to do it. So you need to stay away, locked up. But for those people who can have a second chance, that's their first time doing it, they record is not bad, you can, you know, reform them, allow them to come on out, you know. That's what I think.
I guess it depends on what happened. What the crime was. I guess everything is based on
and you know, and the thing is, okay, there may be some things that are undoubtedly heinous and you did it. But I don't have faith in our justice system, guys. And you know, it's not even about who did. If you did the crime, it's what you can prove.
That's right.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
can,
true.
That's
That's
right.
true.
That's
you
100% right.
know, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
I agree. I don't. Here's the
It's-
thing. I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. It's just a hard pill to swallow when you have this wife who loses her husband in the front of his house, in the front of her house, gunned down. When you go back and you do the stats on this guy, check this guy's record out. He's been in multiple situations and over and over again and beat cases, had the opportunity to reform. If you want to use that terminology, had the opportunity to say, you know what, I'm gonna get my act, I'm gonna get some get right. Because I got caught two times, been in the system twice, and I beat these cases. My luck is not going to always work out for me. Now, this time, I'm becoming cocky now. I beat that case.
So I'll beat it again.
Yeah. So it's like this. But now, if you see what happened in Southfield, and this guy, my man shot him. The victim shot him. He got ups on him. I mean, I guess he shot him a couple of times. My man was laying down, and he's still aiming the gun to kill this guy. Still aiming the guy to kill this guy.
So do you think he deserves the death penalty?
You know what?
Who,
This is
the one who,
the one who killed.
Well, obviously we don't have it here in Michigan. You know, we don't have it here.
I'm just saying, is that a crime in your book of judgment? Would that be a crime that would warrant a death penalty?
The wages of sin is death.
Yeah, he took a life in that situation.
Are you saying? Wait, I'm sorry. Are you saying that you think he deserves a death penalty? Because your opening statement was,
I know.
I said, listen to what I said now, because of how disproportionate, because I know innocent people get killed. But I do believe the wages of sin of death. These guys followed this man in his car home. They followed him, premeditated. I'm going to pull up and get behind this guy and get out of the car and try to carjack him. And so I think the wage of that is death. I think that's what the wage of it is.
Yeah, and at the same time, I don't think the other two guys deserve it. See, here's the thing: it's almost like this system is we're all two birds that flock together. You know what I'm saying? Where now they believe that now
if they was all together.
But if that was the case, maybe I don't know if they all will be getting charged with first degree, and then they will all be sentenced to death, the death penalty. But my thing is, in this game, I don't think that they deserve the two guys that fled. I don't think they deserve death. Just like I don't think my man deserved it for burning up dead bodies that was already burnt up. I think that chances are he could be reformed. I believe he could be reformed. But my thing is to the person who's constantly in the system, now it caught up with you, but now it became more a heinous act of someone dying in this situation. You know, I know plenty of stories of people who were caught. Now, I'm going to say, let me do this. You could be caught up in the drug world, where you drug dealers, that's something happened and you kill somebody. I don't think you deserve another death penalty in that state. I don't think you, because guess what? That comes with the territory. That's part of the job description where you might have to do that because you in that lifestyle. And guess what? It's never personal. But when
nonetheless, it's murder.
Yeah.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm talking
is.
about in a chance of reform. I'm not talking about in a chance of the act itself. I'm saying that in the reform, I think that those people are more reachable because they were caught up in the gang of drug sales.
But you don't know this 28-year-old story either. What if he had a drug addiction? And that's why he was carjacked. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
they didn't say
what if historically his lifestyle, like our guest who unfortunately didn't have an opportunity, he saw somebody get shot right in front of him as a child. How do we know that this same situation did? I mean, I'm just saying, like.
So let me ask you this. What's the difference between that and 25 years? I mean, I know it's life. You know what I mean? 25 years, you in the system, everybody paying for that. You paying for this person.
Everybody paying for Social Security.
Well, Social Security
There
is.
are certain things that
Well,
everybody
no,
pays.
hold on, wait a minute, wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
Look, did you?
Social Security is
Okay,
they paid
Lovely P, did
into it.
you say that? That was the most ridiculous thing you said
I
since
know
you
that
podcast.
was. That sure was.
Like for real, oh my goodness.
Welfare. You talking about welfare?
Nobody
pay
pays
Everybody
goodness.
pay for welfare. I'm saying as a
No, not even
society-
welfare. I wouldn't even use welfare. I wouldn't even use that because that you can't get somebody because they're down on their luck and they don't have an opportunity to come up. Maybe
come on, I mean, I believe that people should be locked up. I just think to decide who lives, who dies is too close to God to me. Like, we lock them up. We lock them up, you know what I'm saying? Because of whatever whether it was environmental, whether it was mental, you know what I'm saying? This person is a threat to society. They cannot operate in regular society. Therefore, they are put in an alternate society.
Do that then.
Right. But our ultimate thing was how much money is being made, even in stock with private prison. With the more bodies coming in there, it's like they're becoming like wealthy just off of these bodies or whatever with the stock market. Right here, it said private prison companies have taken a financial hit in the past week as President-elect Biden wins become apparent. So the stock market went down for a little bit because the private prison companies.
I guess it is what it is. It's a system like everything else that's built to make money. You know what I mean? Private companies come in and they see this is a way to make money because it's consistent. Look, it's consistent.
It's consistent
you know,
money.
It's almost like these funeral homes where I mean, they know people gonna die, so we make money off.
They put their business.
Well, I would like to see then, in this administration and future administrations, an equal amount of consideration given to those programs that are what do they call them? Aversion programs. That's probably not the right word, but dealing with, why are you shaking your head? Programs like that, like our guests had, where you catch them young, you catch them early, you catch them at first time offense, and you really try hard to reform. And I just don't think enough is being put into, because we know, guys, that people of color sit in these conditions that are ripe to join a gang, to become a dope dealer, to carjack. You know what I'm saying? Like, they live unfairly in conditions that are right for them to choose this life or this lane or this pathway. And so because of that, people like us need to be able to get federal funding to say, hey, we love you. Hey, you matter. Hey, there's a different way to think and live, and we're here to help you get there, instead of throwing them in the damn jail for the rest of their life or putting them in an execution chair.
Yeah.
See, I think that I agree with what you're saying. I totally agree with what you're saying. But I guess all I'm saying is that there is different situations. Everything is not that the utopia world. It's not perfect. So my thing is that why did the Bible says even in the 10 Commandments you shouldn't shed innocent blood? Why do you think it says that? What do you think people out here are doing when they running up and they just gunning you down? Innocent, God gonna take you out. You sure gonna take you out. So you gonna pay the price one way or the other for shedding innocent blood. So I guess my thing is that I guess it's just one of those things.
So I'm thinking, but it was prisons back in the day when Jesus,
it was
prisons back then, because Paul and Silas was locked up in prison.
Yeah, it was
so
prisons.
We know it was prisons.
It's been a thing for years. I mean, they have to put the bad people somewhere to reform them and then let them out. Hey, listen, you had time to think about this. Here's some training, and listen, we don't want you to get out and make the same mistake.
And that's good, just like the 2 men that was on the side of Jesus. And Jesus still accepted one in, to go in with them. He was a prisoner.
Well, that's a different situation. He was a thief. You know what I mean? He wasn't, you know what I mean? And there they kill you for stealing. You know what I mean? Back in the days. So, but I guess my thought process to me, it just actually I lost my train of thought. Guys, anybody want to say anything? Tosh threw me off on that.
I think and it's so many, I think what Tone used. What meal did you mention? Did you mention gumbo tone. It's like it's so many systematic
Yeah.
that contributing. For example, like my cousin, he's the president of HBCU in South Carolina, and we were talking, and he has a program that he's connected with the prison system in South Carolina, where guys that's in his college and people that's in prison, you know, can get connected to some education. So when they come out, they have an opportunity. So with his university, he's making that, you know, connection, because we know, Tone, you know, education, and this is how smart they are systematically. They know, because you notice, I think the average age is 4th or 5th grade literacy, people in prison. So they get to prison, they pretty much know their privatization, their business is going to keep going. Because if you come out and you can't read or write, you end up back in jail.
Yeah.
So what they do is, in the system, like in Tone, you've experienced, you sitting down in some of the inner city schools, you got principals saying, I ain't got the money, and you know, the things that your program really provides so people can get to the next level.
Yeah.
Some of the affluent districts will pay for it.
Yeah.
Because those are things, but in some of our inner city, okay, no, we're not going to cover this. We're not going to pay for this. The less the likelihood for you to get those resources you need, increasing the likelihood for me to get on the street and get locked up. And here I am in that system and cycle, man. And it's crazy when it comes to that. Even with me, and when I was, you know, in education, I'm looking, wow, I'm only getting 8,000 or 7,000, 8,000. This school out here getting 12,000. That's like almost a $5,000 difference per child. Why?
Yeah.
System.
Wow.
Like, why is that a $5,000 difference? That's millions of dollars that can go towards program.
And that's
You
why
know,
I'm just saying, like, when we're talking about the dollars in the sense of the jail systems and being privatized, because they've sold the message that we can take this criminal element off your hand. The taxpayers don't have to pay for it. And we bought into it. But it's like, guess what? 60% of Black males have a criminal record. Come on, y'all. There's something wrong with that. It is something fundamentally wrong with 60% of the Black males having a criminal record.
I'm in total agreement with you. I agree that I just think that
definitely.
it's just that funny. It's I don't use the word, that's the wrong word, funny. It's just that tricky, the tricky piece of it, that you're sifting out those who could be reformed and those who just don't give a crap. You know what I mean? And then those same guys, you heard the stories, all you do is look at the documentaries of some guys that even go to prison and how they torture other inmates that are less weak. You know what I mean? They're weaker, and they cause I've seen this one where this guy, I guess it was this had to be in another country for him to be doing what he was doing. He would when the guys come into his cell, he would almost, I'll use the word butt break, whatever. He would rape them. You know what I mean? He will actually rape those guys, or he'll kill them if they don't give in. I mean, these guys, that's the mindset. He was doing the talking. He was the one to talk. He said that's what he do. And he was just a horrible, he was a horrible person. I mean, you know, that's the only word. I mean, he would bring these guys in, and he said he would let them sleep on the bottom bunk, and then he would make his move on them, and he would turn them into his woman, or he'd kill them. They had a choice, because he already had life in prison. He wasn't getting out. So this was his life. What can they do to somebody who already have life in prison? They're not going anywhere. But this was the mentality that he had towards those people, that he was sick-minded. This man, his mindset was just gone. Should these people stay in prison?
Yes.
Should they stay in there? I mean, are these the ones? I mean, so here's the thing. Remember, I don't know if y'all know the story of that young guy. He went to prison, and when he got to prison, he was raped in prison. He went to prison for, something real, like he was put around killers. Killers. People just had bad men. He was raped in prison. He got out of prison and he killed himself. He still couldn't function to society because he went in as a young person, and he went around all these crazy killers. Those people we say should stay locked up. And, I mean, think about it. They're causing harm to those who want to get in and do right, who want to reform. Those same.
So they should mix them together.
Right. But then now you're talking about more money. Then you're talking about more money.
But they give it to the private companies.
But somebody got to pay for it. Somebody
they're paying for it already. They're paying for it already. Like you just said, what was the quote, Lady B, in terms of this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Some of them dollars need to be redistributed to programs that are designed to actually rehabilitate. I'm in mental health, and I can tell you by experience, there are people that unfortunately cannot function in society with external supports. They need a more structured, regimented environment every day of their life, unfortunately, because that's where their quality of life is at. You know what I mean? So I just based on that alone, I get the fact that there are some people that are just criminal-minded people. It doesn't matter what you do. They need to be in that locked up, structured environment because they cannot function in society and do the right thing. But more dollars need to be distributed to programs to catch those people that can be reformed. And right now, those programs are too far and few in between.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do not agree with. See, listen, I'm for life. I'm for life. That's why I'm not for abortion. I'm for life. You get what I mean? So my thing is that, I get that. But I'm saying that there is situations that you have to really look at. Now, again, will other people get caught up in that system? Yes, they will. Now, that's why and like I say, in a utopia world, I'm for the death penalty. Because if everything can go right, then I will be for it. But that's not the world we live in. And someone will get caught up. So it's just one of those things that, like you said, dollars have to be spent. But if we catch them in the 5th grade, the 6th grade, 7th grade, the 8th grade, if we could catch them at a younger age, then it would help probably more or less bring down what's going on. But is it systematic? You know what I mean? Racism that's put within our penal system or in our Black culture. I mean, this thing goes too far back. It goes too far back where it's designed. It's designed. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean we have to make bad choices. Sometimes we're led to it, but we don't necessarily have to make bad choices. That part is on us.
I remember you telling a story about somebody that if they had a choice, or I don't know if I even heard about it when I was in school. Like if a person was dying, their relative was dying, and it was one particular drug that they needed to get for that relative, and they couldn't get it, but the only way was to get it was to steal it. So that relative is dying. You really love this relative really close to you, and that drug they need it, and they don't have the money to get it, and they can steal it to get it. So how do you think about a person like that would you steal it? And if they did steal it, should they be in trouble?
What do y'all think about?
A lot of people, that answer is going to be hell yeah, because my family member, that happens all the time. That happens all the time. And that's what I'm saying. Like, conditions are real. Conditions are real, and conditions will put you in a situation you don't know what you will do until you are in that situation. And so to say that, I just think that because, like you said, like we've been saying, the criminal justice system is so corrupt, that I think we need to be real careful with something like the death penalty. Do people need to be locked up? Yes. Will it cost money? It sure damn will. But guess what? It's costing us money right now. And like I said, the majority of these inmates are returning back. Mm-hmm. They're returning back to the same neighborhoods, to the same conditions that put them there in the first place. So
that's true.
So I mean, and this might be a little bit of a tangent, but I am so teed off at the fact that when you look at the crack epidemic and how it hit Black communities, destroyed Black families, Black neighborhoods, Black
Yeah.
communities, put people in jail forever. And now that you have a different population that's been impacted by a different kind of drug, now all of a sudden it's a secret.
Yeah, you know what?
We shouldn't put people in jail. We should put them in rehab.
And
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, and I remember that
making money on the same things that have criminalized people for years in jail.
And I remember that because when I was like, it was in the 80s. Yeah, I remember that drug on war thing because I remember my neighborhood when I was that age young. And it was like, first it was really nice. Kids were outside playing, having fun. Then like 1 year, everything just changed. We was on the floor ducking from bullets, you know, flying bullets and drugs. And it changed like real fast. So I do remember that year.
Well, you know, the FBI, you know, there was a lot of people who the FBI or the CIA were getting in trouble because they were behind the drugs getting into it. I think it was, who was that? Noriega. It was somebody that they were prosecuting him. I wish my man was on because he was telling me the story of how the CIA or the FBI was behind a lot of the drugs that were being put in to the Black communities that was helping funding a lot of things that were going on. I mean, and there's documentaries out there. All you gotta do is look at the documentaries. I wasn't prepared. I would have brought that on because that would have been a good video. I mean, just like the crime bill. You know, and I don't want to run up on your boy, but the crime bill that was put out, that was set up for that. That was set up for that. So it's a lot of systems that were put in place that were designed to make money. It's not about that they don't care. See, you're not a slave if you're free, but you're a slave if you're locked up. That's what you are. You are a slave. Now you make money. You got to wash them clothes and get paid 50 cents on the dollar. You know what I mean? Or stamp them license plates and make $2 per plate or whatever you make it. And they're making millions and billions of dollars. I think they showed the main prison system that was they were showing, it's this guy, it's this white guy. He owns a nonprofit and he goes around and he purposely get on this one prison system. I was looking at the documentary. I mean, and this prison system is y'all might be able to pull it up, but this prison system is very popular, but is a private system, and they are filthy rich. I mean, this company is filthy rich from incarcerating people. Yeah. But I mean, it was like they were saying that they have to have beds filled. They have to have, in fact, they have a quota to fill beds in order to meet their bottom line with the government. They have to have their beds filled because it costs a certain amount of dollars to keep that bed filled. So think about it. If you got somebody locked up for life in prison, 25 years, how much you think that's costing? To these guys who charging so much a bed. I'm not saying kill them off. That's what I'm saying. No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about kill them off. All I'm saying is that I guess the real solution.
They need that door, the revolving door where somebody's coming in constantly.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying the solution should be, we should come up with programs that, like you were saying, that doesn't get you that far. That can help stop you, or to say, listen, can you guys do something with them before we lock them up? Can you guys, it should, you know, we pay you, see that same money that we say that we have, we should be putting them in our system if we really care about it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing. If we really care about it, that's what we're going to do. But it's telling us
these
that
companies, you're going to stop their money. These private companies.
And it's interesting, Tom. I was reading something and I didn't catch it all. They've gotten so expensive. Plates they doing, man, there are entire industries, bro, like you said, depending on those prison people to make stuff for people. I mean, it's amazing what these people are getting contracted with this privatization for them to make stuff, you know, for people. And another thing, and what's so interesting, every time I read this language, it just irritates me when it talks about the 13th Amendment. And to be honest, slavery is really not abolished, because when you look at the term, it says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude. But it says, no, slavery is cool long as it's for punishment for a crime.
Right.
You see what I'm saying, Tone?
Right.
It says neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except. That means it's cool long as it's for a crime.
That's right.
When you've been duly convicted.
Yeah.
So slavery really hasn't been abolished.
Yes.
Yeah. You can be a slave long as you long, and it's in the 13th Amendment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's what the guy was talking about in the documentary. He was talking about exactly what you're saying. He said, so in the Jim Crow laws in that day, they knew that these people couldn't work different jobs. So, I mean, it's already in the Constitution. So guess what? Here's another form to continue this slave pattern by locking you up, because a lot of them wasn't given jobs in the Jim Crow when they came. As soon as they came out of slavery, they weren't given jobs. You know, if the job they were given, they were barely, making it. You know what I mean? So what? They put them right back into the system. Put them right back into the system, and they redid it. But see, here's the thing: how do we wake up from that? See, now that we and maybe just maybe there should be some type of grant where they're going around and they talking to the school kids and they're letting them know about this information. I mean, if that's possible, I don't know if they'll kind of stop that from happening. But see, that's where Black dollars come in. In our community, where we're those people who are educated in those areas where we fund them. We pay for it. If the government not going to pay for it, we pay for it, where they go into the schools and they talk about this here, what we're talking about, and how, listen, it's not meant for you to get into. It's meant for you to go to prison. Well, they looking for you. I'll say it that way.
Yes, they are.
They're looking,
waiting on you.
They're waiting on you.
Sure is.
So you got to make sure that you do everything within your means not to allow them to take you in, to arrest. I mean, we have the trickery out there. That's why they was hiding dope back in them days and getting people busted just to get them off the street and whatever and get them locked up in the system. So, it's still a little bit in that. I mean, I don't know. It's just an ugly system.
It's an ugly system.
It's an ugly system.
It really is an ugly situation. But I mean, I think we're all saying kind of the same. We need to invest I think this is a good time, Tone, kind of, piggybacking on what you're saying in terms of, the movement and what we've seen with these police shootings. Like, the way the police treat Black or people of color is just one slice of the whole justice system pie, if you will. It's the one that that is most seen, you know what I mean, in the media, but in these courtrooms, these judges, the laws, you know what I mean? Like, they continue to disproportionately impact people of color, people of low income. And so when we talk about justice reform, that's why it has to be justice in its entirety, not just the cops. That's just one slice. We need to look at these police. We need to look at the laws. We need to look, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be a look at the whole and not just the piece. If we truly want to create a society that is truly equitable in its justice system, you know what I mean? Because right now, that 60%, Lady B, that is so disturbing to me.
Yeah,
that is so disturbing for me.
Well, they have big business, and it's things that need to. Somebody got to build them guns and build them tanks, and somebody got to do it. So hey, listen, they turn to the vulnerable, and they it's all about. That's what the capitalist society is all about. I mean, it's one of the things that got to me, and it's a little turn. It's I digress from that conversation. My thing is I was listening at the Senate to just all last week, and it just for the $2,000, to get them $2,000 check. And I like to look at the Senate and the House. The House passed it. The Senate were approving it, and here they were trying to get Mitch McConnell to go with just here's the thing, to just vote on it. Just vote on it so they can vote on it. That's what all we were trying to get. Bernie Sanders and and the rest of the Democratic were trying to get this guy to just at least allow us to vote on it. He kept turning it down. No, we can't vote on it. And my mindset is like, y'all still keep this guy in office? I mean, y'all still elect this cat. I mean, and here this man, he's going to make the statement that said, well, we don't want to help out those fortunate people who are making $350,000 a year. We don't want to send them a check for $2,000, and those who really need it won't ever get it. Well, I mean, I thought it was a certain level of people who would actually even get it. They were qualified, and they kept using it as the argument because they didn't want to give the American people $2,000.
Well, that's why they ended up with their property being vandalized, and I don't promote that. I don't own that. Really? I think Pelosi and
Mitch McConnell.
I think. Don't quote me, but I know it was two, and I don't know if producer can do a fact check, but it was two Senate folks. Pelosi was definitely one, and I want to say it was McConnell that was the other person. But their property was like graffitied up. They had to because people are pissed that
so pull up that.
Can I say pissed? Is that a bad word?
They did. It was Pelosi and both of them. McConnell, both of their houses got vandalized. It was crazy. Both of them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now, I don't know why she would have got hurt because she was for it.
Right. Because people's bottom line is, while y'all sitting back talking about what y'all disagree, we sitting over here can't feed our family.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Together.
Let me ask you this straight. Literally, T, are you saying, and RW, are y'all saying that Mitch McConnell got his house vandalized too?
Yes.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them.
Wow.
This happened recently?
Yeah, yesterday. Or yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Heard about that.
Wow. Because
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I mean, you just told me something. Because listen, I was watching them all week going live in the Senate, and this guy just kept shooting down them even voting on it. I mean, it could not even pass. He didn't even want them to vote. Let's see what this is right quick. I want to see this. Wow, that's no. We should have talked about that.
I know.
But see, because we live in a world now, we're too.
Oh, we want a video.
We're too connected, and I don't condone violence. I really don't condone violence. You know what I'm saying? But we live in a time now. Like I'm telling y'all, these millennials ain't no joke. But we live in a time now where people want results, and they're not going to sit back. You cannot easily pacify people like the years of yesterday. People are they're too savvy, they're too connected, they're too organized for that these days.
But my thing is I'm like, this is the part that I couldn't get over. And see, this new to me. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I know. Yeah. I didn't know that Mitch McConnell had that much power where he cannot allow a vote to even get to the floor to vote.
Is he's basically the most powerful right now.
Oh wow!
If they don't win these two seats, he's the most powerful man in America. He don't even have to bring a vote to the Senate, bruh, to the floor.
That
they
right
need
there
to change those rules, bruh.
See, I ain't know that.
Yeah, he don't have to bring a vote to the floor.
That I thought that was totally ridiculous because, and I'm not maybe is this something we need? Let's hear it.
Vandalism at Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's home overnight has police investigating, but protesters from two different groups took to his lawn today, making their voices heard about separate issues. The night team's Heather Fontaine was there.
Trump wasn't talking about no unity. Trump had probably 8 million votes thrown in the trash.
Oh boy.
Different opinions.
Telling me there's 8 million fraudulent votes.
But there is one thing this crowd can agree on. Everyone here equally upset with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell.
Right now, we got to deal with Mitch.
You can make decisions on anything, and you do not support your people. That is horrible.
Millie Martin says she showed up in front of McConnell's house on Dundee Road to express her frustrations with his rejection of the $2,000 stimulus check.
$2,000 is not a lot of money. at least he could have did 1,200 again.
We are out here because of them checks, y'all.
Her and Lovely T got the same hairstyle.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
McConnell accepting the election results.
For turning against the president and the Constitution.
Biden is a winner. You're crazy.
Both groups.
I don't think he probably was at the wrong house. He probably owned so many houses.
And your rule against the Constitution because of government corruption.
He probably sitting there laughing on his camera.
Oh, he's one of the top 8 most richest people in Congress.
That house didn't even look
that house
like
McConnell. Yeah, McConnell is a super millionaire, bro.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't his house.
That's just one of them.
That's one of them.
That wasn't the house he probably was in. I don't think that he would be that accessible and being as powerful as he is to just come out from this man. That was one of his little country houses that he go chill at wherever he at. That man Hollywood. What is this one?
Is this about Pelosi?
And we begin with a message on the mansion to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Tonight, SFPD looking for the vandals who tagged her Pacific with fake blood, spray paint, and an animal's head. NBC Bay Area Gene Ellie has new details.
Police say they responded to a call of vandalism here at House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's house around 2 o'clock this morning. Tonight, the graffiti on the garage door is covered with garbage bags, and the pig head left in the driveway is gone.
Wow.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi referencing the $2,000 COVID relief payment spray painted on her garage door in San Francisco. 2K is crossed out. It says cancel rent. We want everything. A pig head, red paint left in the driveway. Some are shocked.
Oh my God.
Crazy. I mean, even if those people don't like Speaker Pelosi or don't agree with her politically, like you're gonna show up to someone's house, like that's insane.
And people getting tired.
You're gonna be the main target and the easiest scapegoat.
There are several cameras on the home and in the neighborhood. Police are investigating. The vandalism echoes what many peaceful protesters have been saying for months. They need financial help during COVID-19
they playing
shutdown.
games with these people. See, and they'll bail out. They were showing. I'm gonna be honest, and I'm not a Bernie Sanders guy. Bernie was taking them to the throat. You know what I mean? Bernie was taking them to the throat. I mean, Bernie was putting them out. I was like, dang, Bernie, you out cold. Bernie, like he was about to take his coat off. Wow. he seemed like he was ready to swing. That old man was ready to swing, man. I mean, he had some valid points. And one of the things that he was sharing of how a lot of them had a lot of valid points. I mean, be honest, even Mitch McConnell has some valid points. But my thing is that here's the thing. You're bailing out billionaire companies. You're giving them big tax breaks. I mean, 500,000, millions of dollars in tax breaks for these big businesses. And you mean to tell me you can't write a check for $2,000? I know we're in trillions of dollars of debt, but it's not the American people who put these people in trillions of dollars of debt. And now you want to say it's going to be our youth that got to pay it back. That money's going to go right back out to the economy.
You're right.
That's where it's going to go. So, I mean, I don't know. I just thought that was, wow. That was like, I mean, y'all hit me with some news now. That's likely. I don't know. I would have known. That's something I slept on because I've been following this one all week. My phone, I had to turn my phone off looking at the Senate just to see what they're doing. I know what the House did, and I'm surprised Pelosi got her house tripped out. She was one of. Okay, so a lot of people were saying that the reason why she even passed it because she knew it wasn't going to pass in the House. I mean, in the Senate. So she wanted to make herself look good.
She had to compromise, right?
Yeah, that's what I heard. You know what I mean? So she played the game on it. But it came back to bite her in the butt. I don't know. But I think that they're still going to push forward. I think they're gonna continue bringing this to the Senate over and over again until they budge. I don't think Donald Trump really cared about it. I think he just did it and said it just to just spitefully. You know what I mean? I think he did that spitefully. You know what I mean? Not everybody get, those who qualify getting a little $600 check, right? So I mean, I don't know, guys. It's just It's a whole big deal.
Yeah.
I guess we'll sit on that. Maybe we'll talk about that one. Man,
Yeah.
I should have kept my ear to the floor on that one. I just left it alone when I seen him. I just was like, who keep voting these guys back in office?
These same people.
Lovely T, can I get
that?
Lovely T, can I borrow 100 from your stimulus? Can I borrow $100?
I didn't get anything.
I don't think
I mean, maybe it's yet to
you
come.
got to do over 75. If you do over 75 or
I
whatever.
forgot Lovely T is out that bracket.
Yeah, Lovely T, she a billionaire.
Yeah.
No, we
there
not
you go,
gonna,
Lady B.
No.
Lady B, Lovely T. Yeah,
we
that's
not
right.
gonna go there. No.
Hey, but I guess my thing is, it's just the fact that we'll see what happens. I mean, that's just terrible. It's terrible that you would let these people suffer who actually aren't eating, who can't pay their rent. And you mean to tell me you can't let $2,000 go where it's going back into the economy?
Right.
Now, and do you really care? Now, let me ask y'all this. Do you think that Mitch really care about those people who are making $350,000, or do you think he don't want the poor to get it?
That's
I mean, which one do you really think that he really don't want? Because you're already bailing out billionaires.
I don't think he don't care about the poor. I don't think he wanted to get. I think he's a racist. This man is worth $24 million. And for him to, this guy, when to bring certain things to the floor, think about it. Just from a pure quote unquote conservative perspective, believing in the Constitution and the three branches of government, that he wants to exude that much power. I'm not going to bring it to the floor.
Right.
He knew it was going to pass.
I mean, he's definitely about the philosophy of, like you say, the conservative philosophy that, if you take care of the top, it'll trickle down. Forget about the peons. We give them money. We might as well be flushing it down the toilet. We really need to just give it to the corporations and and it'll trickle down. Like, I really think he fundamentally believes in that.
Well, that's what they all believe in. They've been believing that for centuries. That's how they believe. They have. That's what they are.
Therefore, he doesn't care about he don't care about my neighbor 2 doors down that can't feed their family. He don't care about that.
But yet somebody keep putting this man back in office. I mean, somebody keep over and over and again.
It'll really be interesting, and I don't really think we saw it play out. And I think how we move forward in 2021 will be the telltale. But for the first time, like, the businesses have had to deal with not on the same level, but have had to deal with hardship in a way like never before. And so it'll be interesting to see how business owners, particularly those that are like medium to small, sway with the politics, because they've been impacted in a way that they haven't been in the past.
Definitely. Somebody made a statement over here. I just seen it says who is that? Can you read that?
He act like $2,000.
Diane Ladybug Curry.
Yep. Well, I mean, to the sense of everybody in America getting it is a lot of money, but it's not as much money as they were used to bail out or even to the military. So those dollars to just go in places that only deals with those contractors because my man said the military a lot of them guys, and maybe RW3 know this. He said a lot of those guys going into some branches of the military only start off at $19,000 or $18,000 a year. He said, so they're not really getting it. He said it's the contractors who really making the money. Those people who putting together, maybe it's a tank, the guns, whatever it is, they're the ones who really benefit out of that money, not the actual military itself, meaning the soldiers. They don't
their argument with us, and you're right, when we first went in, I guess that's since I've gotten older, in a way, I don't agree, but I kind of see the perspective, because when you go in, they're saying you're getting this, whatever we're making a year, but we don't have to pay for nothing else with it. You see what I'm saying? Like, we get our money, we get food, 3 meals a day, shelter, dental, medical. We pay for none of that. So you just get your money, you can do what you want. You ain't got rent to pay. You ain't got no bills. So that's the argument they would make that's the argument they used to make with us. I mean, even one thing you got to do is just buy your clothes. Otherwise, you don't have no money, or a car, but food, 3 meals a day, shelter, dental, medical. You can go to the haircut for free. And on my ship, they had a barber. You can get a haircut for free. Like, you didn't have to pay for nothing.
Yeah. I guess in that situation, but I guess, I don't know. It's just one of those things that, it's just, he don't deserve to continue to be in the Senate. These guys they die in those positions. He's not ever leaving that position until Mitch McConnell closes his eyes.
I think it's kind of like a lot of these professions that have been, I think, untouchable in a sense, like with the doctor, for example. So many of our elders just took what the doctor said as golden, right? Never asked a question, too scared to ask a question because they saw the doctor as this untouchable type person, all knowing. And I think we've dealt with politics in the same regard for so many years. It's kind of like, okay, well, they're the politicians, we trust them, and whatever they say, but I do think we've entered in a different time, and you just cannot get away with the okie doke. You can't. We're too into no more backdoor deals, and we know that they still happen, but you have more people questioning, than you have in the past, and so that's why you have, the incidents like we're seeing now with Pelosi and Mitch McConnell with their property that destroyed or defaced, because we're like, no, we ain't taking the okie doke no more. So,
but I think they secretly get in. I don't know how these guys still stay on. Now he just got signed back on, elected back in again. Maybe they slip everything else. Everybody be focused more on the president, where they slip in the cracks, where they just get voted back in, knowing that these guys are the ones who really matter. The House and the Senate is really what matters. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody can be vetoed. I mean, the president can do what he do. They can do what they do. Will they just override that money for the
defense thing?
Yeah,
right.
he shot it down. They rolled over it. I mean, so the Senate have a whole lot of power. I think we need to focus on these guys more so than this president. You need to be looking in that house and clearing that house out. And
the Senate, like you said, Tone, the Senate, the power. Think about this. All these people that Biden has recommended for these positions, the Senate have to confirm.
Yeah.
Some people, so he has to be aware of people that he picked that he think can get through the Senate.
They got it on lockdown.
They got it on lockdown. That's why that Georgia thing, they got to pick up them 2 seats, bro.
Yeah.
But see, now I'm going to be honest. This might hurt the Senate. The Republicans. Because of Mitch McConnell doing that, what he did. They said there's a chance that it could hurt the Republicans because of Mitch. I'm surprised Mitch McConnell even made that move, to be honest. Knowing that the Senate, knowing that what's going on in Georgia with the Republicans and the Democrats and those seats. So I'm really surprised that I wouldn't have made that move, because it would have shown
he's the ultimate politician, though. He's the politician, because he knew during these years he had to kowtow and work with Trump. Now towards the end, and the power that he has, he got reelected #1.
Yeah.
And now with Trump going out, he's the political king.
Yeah.
He is.
We'll see what's going to happen.
What 2021 bring. We will see.
Yeah, we'll see, guys. So this was a good conversation. Even we lost our guest. I think I hate that we lost our guest. He was very interesting. I think he could have had chimed in a lot of areas that we would needed him to speak on. We lost his audio. I guess that's the bad thing about social media and signals, where you can lose people, guys. But hopefully it won't happen again. Maybe we could try to get them back on if we want to carry on that conversation or just move forward, guys. And have you guys gotten the vaccine yet? Everybody got the vaccine?
No.
Y'all don't get it. What don't y'all be offered it by y'all being essential workers?
We're not, but I mean, we are. We as mental health in the
We
mental health
probably
profession, we are
on this very
essential.
next. Well, we're probably on schedule to get the very next. You got the people in the hospital, nursing homes, and we're like
first
1B.
responders.
Right.
Then we come up under them.
Okay, I'm thinking y'all would be first essential workers.
You would think.
Because y'all dealing with mental health and all that kind of stuff. Oh wow.
Yeah, we are in the homes and everything, but
are you getting it? Are you guys going to get it?
No.
Not
at first. I need a little time. I don't mind wearing my mask. I don't mind practicing 6 feet. Just I need a little minute.
Now here's the thing. They were showing, and I'm gonna print it off this site. They were showing on the bottom of this paper about one. I ain't gonna say which company, but they were showing how it had warning on there. Because they were saying that you're supposed to actually be the one talking to your doctor about when you getting the shot, because it does say something in terms of allergies on there. And if you don't know, if you didn't know to say that, you get what I mean? That's really on you. You can't do anything about it because it's actually on the paper about certain allergic reactions. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to this stuff, man. But I'm gonna be honest, it is out there for you to know. And they said that they making it plain. People just got to read to find out.
For example, the agency that I work for, one of our executive leadership folks actually sent us out an email that has a link to more information about one of the vaccines. So to me, that's kind of foreshadowing.
So you can, Lovely T, once you go to that link, you can just let us know next week.
Oh, okay.
After you do the research.
Yeah.
Sure, but I'm just saying in terms of the companies positioning themselves to say at some point, like they did with the flu vaccine, that you have to take this vaccine if you want to work unless you have these extenuating circumstances. I'm just saying, like, case in point, our leaders, my leadership, company's leadership is already like saying, okay, here's the information. Read the information, so that you can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
But that's now.
But they are pushing that health pass. They are talking about the health pass and trying to close you out of areas. I think that that way out is going to be those who have allergic reactions and those who have different autoimmune
disorders.
Because that's on the document. It's on the document and everything. So, but guys, listen, like and share this page. I would like you to like and share this page. Do we have another comment real quick?
Diane Ladybug Curry says,
shout out to my girl. Whoop, whoop.
Every medicine may have an allergic reaction. She says every medicine may have an allergic reaction, but this vaccine needs to give into more before we can get a result of how it works.
Because see, a lot of people kept saying they don't understand why is it 92 or 95% effect. They don't. What did that mean? Because
one of them is only like 70 something.
Yeah, why are you giving it to me if it's not 100%?
Well, Miss Diane Ladybug Curry, thanks for your input.
Thank you.
And Lovely T being your friend. But Diane, they gave it to 45,000 people, Diane Ladybug Curry. So we do know, based on that clinical trial, from 45,000 people.
Well, we know if there's the potential for immediate reaction, but we don't know long term anything about this drug yet.
Okay.
Now there are people who, again, I'm gonna say allegedly, there are people out there allegedly who are they're having bad reactions to it. One, it was social media allegedly. I got to make sure I put that out there that she talked about hers and her one side of her face wasn't she couldn't move one side of her face. She was crying in tears. She was a nurse, black lady, and she was just talking about how it affected her. She named the what she was diagnosed with. It's temporary, as far as what I understand, but one side of her face is shut down. You know what I mean? Which is, you know what I mean? So she was like, oh my God, they don't care about us, America. They don't care about us. That was her statement. Allegedly, I gotta keep saying that word allegedly. That's what she said. She did it, an Instagram video. Allegedly, she said that. So that's why I'm sharing that with you. But guys, listen, I don't want to be putting people in fear, and that's what it's not. It's not to put people in fear. You do the research. Definitely do the research. If you have allergic reaction, you definitely should be doing the research. If you're allergic, if you have any type of underlying diseases or sicknesses, you definitely need to be doing the research because it involves you. You definitely don't just go out there half cocked. You know what I mean? And you sit down in the chair, get the information to understand what it is you put in your body. And like my man was saying, he's saying you should be even asking the doctors. It's a certain way that they have to even put it in the vial, whatever you call that thing. And if something had to happen, they were showing the instructions where you need to make sure the proper person who is doing it right. You know what I mean? And they know what they're doing. They say you should never be scared to ask questions about the person who even putting it in your arm if you are going to get it done. You know what I mean? So my thing is just ask a lot of questions, people. Ask a lot of questions. This is something you feel comfortable with because there's some people who feel comfortable with it. Obviously, 2 million people have already been vaccinated. I think it's 2 million. You know what I mean? Already been vaccinated.
Yeah, I think it is. And then the last thing before we go, Diane said, yes, they did. However, we still have people with many different medical issues that have not been tested. You're correct with that. And yes, do your research, informed decisions. So,
yeah. So I think we lost Lovely T. So, but we're going to get on out of here. Listen, like and share this. Subscribe to it. Lovely T is back on, but like and share. Subscribe to this page. We come on every Sunday at 4:45. Listen, if it be y'all's willing, we have a great year with this pod. We're gonna go mean and hard, getting people on, not being scared to answer the tough questions for those who will come on this podcast, keeping them accountable for those who that we need to talk to, not shying out, but we're going to talk to these people. But guys, listen, we need you to like and share this. We want to make the round table number one. You know what I mean? I want the podcast to be number one in information. And I know we have to make sure that we bring you the information in a proper form. You know what I mean? So that you guys would be informed decision, and it is in a not, what is that word? A biased way, not in a biased way or anything such as that nature. Good job.
Thank you, Ladybug.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you. Does she got a mask on as her? Is she a
Lovely
nurse?
T, where does Ladybug come from, Lovely T? Before we go, what does Ladybug mean? What is it?
That's just her thing.
You don't know the history of it, and that's your girl?
Come on now. When Ted come on the show, that's a good question to ask. How about that?
All right.
Whatever. You crazy.
Yeah. So guys, listen, we'll see you soon. Like and subscribe. Hey, listen, just stay on RW3 and Lovely T real quick. We just want to talk about the animation thing. Yeah. So guys, listen, stay tuned, like and share it. Go to our YouTube and show us some love. I know y'all want to show us no love.
You hear your friend say good answer.
Show us some love on that page. It's so many videos that you can go back if you want to laugh, if you want to get heated conversation. You just go back. And you will see so much down to the word. Years ago, is it ugly? Ugly people wear makeup. We even got something on there called ugly people wearing makeup. I mean, it's not what you think. It's just to get you on the page. And
you know what, y'all? I would say this last thing. I got to keep messing with Lovely T. Her buddy said good answer from Lovely T. Anytime people in cahoots like that, they have a closet that if you open it, the whole graveyard of skeletons will fall out, bro. Ladybug and Lovely T. Hey, Tom, we got to do our research on Lovely T. I know I brought her in, but on Lovely T and her crew. Three strikes, we out.
You said it was an incognito.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, incognito. Guys, we peace
Have
out.
a lovely day.
Stay on RW3
Yes,
and love it.
have a lovely day,
You
guys.
guys stay on. We'll see you next Sunday.
Lovely day.
Lovely day. Lovely day.